Hello, happy World Food Day. I'm Alexis Badenmare. I'm the political director of the Organic Consumers Association, and I am here with David Johnson and Wei Chin Su, and they are the inventors of a bioreactor compost maker that produces superlative compost that grows vegetables and crops better than any other compost, right? Can we say that's true?
So far we can.
If the approach is correct. It is a whole system approach, though.
Yeah.
It's not magic.
So it's called the Johnson-Su Bioreactor, right?
Yes.
And then you also have a program called BEAM. What does BEAM stand for?
It stands for Biologically Enhanced Agriculture Management. And like Wei Chin was saying, it's a system that you're restoring. The microbial community is part of it, but it's a little different way to farm. A lot more profitable, a lot better for your soil, and more sustainable in the long run.
And probably manages water better, right? It makes it
that also
the soil.
If it's done right, yes. Yeah. Because as biologically enhanced, that you break it into two components, and biologically enhanced agriculture management. So the first part is the Johnson-Su bioreactor is more like an incubator that you basically incubate this system to produce a very fungal dominant compost and very biodiverse, microbial diverse compost. So it's more of an inoculant instead of just compost. Yeah. Then you apply it in your system and in a way how you manage your agriculture system appropriately. And the best way to do it is regenerative agriculture practice.
Oh, of course. Of course. Well, just describe briefly, and I know that there are a lot of tutorial videos available online. So if anyone wants to see how to create a Johnson-Su bioreactor, I know we have information at the Regeneration International website. You all have a YouTube channel, and when I Google you, tons of videos come up. But just describe briefly what a Johnson-Su bioreactor is.
Well, it's a little different approach to composting it. We use a bioreactor. It's basically just a cylinder made out of wire and landscape cloth. And it's like 4 foot diameter, 5 foot high. And we put tubes in the center so it's never more than a foot away from ambient air as you fill it. Mm-hmm. You fill it and you soak the material, pile it into the bioreactor, and then after 3 days, usually you can pull the pipe out. You have ventilation all the way. You're never more than a foot away from ambient air, so it's always aerobic.
And I want to jump in there to say that because this incubator, Johnson-Su bioreactor, that is no-turn system, is 100% aerobic. But it takes 1 whole year, 12 months. If you do it right, that it takes 12 months enable for the system to become mature. And I often use the example as a gestation period. That, different systems have different maturity period. And so just because if you heat it up or if you water more or whatever you do, it doesn't mean that it will mature earlier, just like human baby. If you are lucky enough to carry the baby full term, 9 months, that's going to be a healthy, beautiful baby. But anything earlier than that, you're hoping that the baby will survive well because the prematurity. And so there is definitely a drawback. But in any case, this system takes 12 months. So when David talking about using the wire, make sure it is per spec in the instruction, because those are wire mesh. And wire mesh, like the type of material they put in the concrete foundation for reinforcement. So there's rigidity, there's stability, and it also is placed on top of a pallet. So there is air can from bottom and then infiltrate from bottom, go through those basically air shaft. When you put those tubes in there and remove them, and then you have those natural air shafts. So all those concepts that allows the system to stay aerobic for the entire time of the composting period.
The maturation period is very important.
Yeah.
Because you end up with a microbial community. We've seen identical microbial community in Australia with this method as to what we make here.
Yes.
So it has a very specific community structure in the microbial community, and we apply at 2 pounds per acre or 2.2 kilograms per hectare.
Yes.
So it's
that's tiny amount.
Yeah,
Yes.
one bioreactor, you'll put about 2,000 pounds of wet material into it. You'll end up with 700. So you can do 350 acres of land with one bioreactor.
Well, and how do you spread it so finely? Do you put it into water? And
we'll make an extract out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's also a video of the extractor on there as well.
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
But at that point, we inject it into the furrow at planting. So a lot of planters have a system already that they can inject into the furrow. So it's really quite simple for the farmer. Cuts the labor down, cuts the cost, and you can cut back on fertilizer. We could talk about the project in Turkey. They had some very good results, and it was on cotton, about the dirtiest crop on the planet.
Right. Before you go into the project in Turkey, we were talking about it before we went live, and I'm very interested to hear about it. But before we get to that, I do want to ask, does it matter what you put in the bioreactor?
We've used just about everything, from manures to any waste plant material. It can't be too fine, like sawdust. I would not use that, but we use hay or weeds, whatever.
And I would jump in and say this: it has a lot to do with the bulk density of it and how much it will pack. Because if, like what David said, that if you use sawdust, it will pack too much and it will create the anaerobic condition, and so that is not good. But on the other hand, if you use wood shaving, which is perfect because they're smaller particles, they're almost kind of like leaves. But if you have leaves, we always tell people to shred your leaves